Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you guys a quick few tips if you're doing this job like I did. I have no mechanical experience, but I thought, oh, it'd be fun to learn. So I taught myself how to do this in about 2 weeks. So you can do it. It's a lot easier if you have more time and money, just in case you need to buy parts or rent things. But anyways, let's go for it. Alright, so you have the intake manifold here, and I recommend keeping it all together. On the head, I chose to separate it, but if you can just keep it all on and remove the cables and the hoses and some of the and a hose that goes down to the block, it's a lot easier. If you do decide to do what I did, I recommend getting a 12 millimeter, and actually this is the length of the fuse box. But I would actually recommend getting one that extends out a bit further, just because it'll make it so much easier to get underneath the actual intake manifold. So again, I recommend keeping it together. If you do keep it together, you're going to need a cherry picker, but that's alright. It'll just come right out and make your life so much easier. Alright, let's go on. Now, one thing that the Haynes manual doesn't tell you is that you need to actually take not only the drive belts off, but the timing belt as well. And how you do that is you go down to the crank bolt, and I recommend going to like Pep Boys and just renting a crank bolt remover tool. It goes on, it's black, it goes on there, and then you just attach it to another wrench. You can seat the wrench in this little crevice down in here, and then so it keeps it from moving. And then you want to take another, let's say, breaker bar with an extension that comes all the way out and break it loose. And of course, make sure it's at top dead center, and other videos will expound on that. Another thing that I didn't realize, and the manual tells you to do, but you shouldn't do, is take off the rocker arms. And that's basically for, if you're going to do a heavy valve job. But again, if you're getting the valves done, the machine shop will do that for you. I wouldn't do that because then it messes up timing issues and you have to know how to do valve adjustments on that. So I would just leave that alone, remove the head bolts, and just pull it out. You could either keep this piece on the head or remove it. It's going to be easier if you just remove it and then pull the head out all together. Make sure there's two people. It's relatively light, but it's easier if you just have two people, one on each side. Save your back. Another thing that you're going to need that's really important is these dowel pins. There's two of them. There's one here and there's one right here. And these dowel pins not only keep the gasket aligned, but it also serves to help this head transition onto the block with it's a lot easier doing it that way. I actually forgot to put these on, and it was a nightmare. So make sure that those are there. They're really cheap too. If you can't find them, they're like $1.30 at the Honda dealer. And that leads me to another point: is get Honda parts. They're not that much. Actually, in my case, they're actually cheaper. If you're going to do it, though, I would do it right and get all the Honda parts. And that's what you'll need for the head. Every other component is pretty much covered on YouTube. I decided to do everything. I did a radiator, I got all new hoses. All new hoses are about $75, and it saves you all the headache. Because if one thing goes, usually they all go, especially in the cooling system. It started off as a cooling issue, and then I just was chasing it, and I looked at all the trouble codes and the computer and everything. So I looked for continuity, but it was actually the head gasket. So I would go with all Honda parts, do everything as much as you can. Another thing I would recommend is I would pressure wash the engine before starting. It's really nasty, and there's videos online. Brian's Mobile one covers how to power wash an engine. But there's so many people online, Jafra Mobile, Eric the Car Guy. There's so many guys out there that teach you guys how to do this, and it's a lot of fun. It's just, I'm treating it as a hobby. We have other cars, and you want to have a bit of cash just to run with, to rent tools and to replace parts. But other than that, it's a great learning experience. So I actually love theology and philosophy, but this has been fun to learn a little bit about mechanics. All right, hope this helps for you. All right, bye.